Hi, good afternoon. It is 1 p.m. here in Lagos, Nigeria, and we are live on Facebook, verses and paragraphs, and everything in between. And my name is Akpoghene-Adaiah, welcoming everyone, whether you're listening now or listening after the broadcast. I would like to welcome you to today's edition of Verses and Paragraphs. I'm so excited to see that we are catching on and people are already making sentences using the words that they have learned on Verses and Paragraphs. Shout out to my sister-in-law, February. She's watching from Edinburgh. Georgia DPC is watching. Class captain, you are welcome. I hope you have your book out for the noisemakers so that you can give me their name, so at the end of the class we're able to say, my sister friend Lizzie Benny Henacho is watching from Abuja. Good to have you on, sister. Good afternoon, Georgia. We are going to be talking today about common words with uncommon opposites. Now, normally for some words, you know that they're just natural opposites. When you say up, you say down. If you're going to run, it's either you walk or you run. Up or below, dark or light, night or day. But today I came across some words. They are common words, but they have uncommon opposites, and I would like to share them with you this afternoon. Now, first of the words is warmth. You know, when you're feeling warm, a feeling of warmth. The opposite is cool. That is, you add th at the end of cool. I'll be putting up these words later on Facebook, my Facebook page. So the opposite of warmth is cool. So just like you add th to the end of warm, you add th to the end of cool, and it means being cool. Then there is distress. You know, when you are distressed, you have problems, and there's this feeling when you say you are distressed. You know, there's this anxiety, maybe physical pain, or you are in distress. Interestingly, the opposite of distress is eustress. It's pronounced eustress, but you have an EU in front of stress. So instead of the DIS in front of stress, you have EU in front of stress. And eustress is the opposite of distress. Isn't that interesting? I found it very interesting myself too. Then we have euphemism. Now, euphemism, like we all know, is when you want to use a nicer word to describe an unpleasant situation. For instance, most people don't like to say that someone has died. They'd rather say the person is departed, or has gone to be with the Lord, or has passed. I would like to welcome Abimbola Anjaoluwa watching. It's a very long name, Abimbola Anjaoluwa Akinshui Bola. You're welcome. I don't know where you're watching from, but shout out to you. Yes, hello, wow. I don't know which one of them you're wowing for, but wow. Then there is euphemism. Like I was saying, euphemism is usually a word you use, a pleasant word that you use to describe something that's not too pleasant. For instance, if someone has died, you'd rather say the person has passed or has departed, or for Christians, he has gone to be with the Lord. Now, the opposite of euphemism is dysfemism. Dysfemism, DYS in front of feminism. Now, dysfemism is when you use a harsh word for an activity. For instance, you're talking about the mental hospital. The white people will say loony bin. If it's in Nigeria, they will say Yaba left. Or in the Edo, they will say Uselu for you. Or some people, when you want to describe someone that's got a mental illness, you say he's a naughty case or a fruit cake. So dysfemism is the opposite of euphemism. And then we have anonymous. And you say you have an anonymous letter, anonymous caller, or anonymous author, or anonymous poet. It means the person's name has not been mentioned. The person has not been mentioned. Now, the opposite of anonymous is anonymous. So you just take away the AN and you have anonymous, and it means the person is named. So if you have a book which has the author's name on it, it is an anonymous book. And if you have an author, if you have a poem Where you have the poet's name, it's an anonymous poem. But if you have a poem where there is no author, the person is not named, then it is an anonymous poem. So we have anonymous, and the opposite is anonymous. Then there's the word blacklist. Everybody knows what a blacklist is, and I'm sure George is getting ready his blacklist for all those who are making noise in the class. A blacklist is a list of persons who are under suspicion, especially by the government. And some people, they normally have a black book. Interestingly, the opposite of blacklist is whitelist, and it is a list of individuals, organizations, and everything which have got security clearance from government. Isn't that interesting? You have a blacklist and a whitelist. And then the word postpone. Everybody knows what it means to postpone. For instance, maybe you're going to have exams on the 17th of April, and then suddenly a circular comes, oh sorry, due to such and such circumstance, the examinations have been postponed to the 25th of April. Hey, my friend D-Doc, Dale Akpoghene is watching from Abuja. D-Doc, how are you? Shout out to you. Now, the opposite of postpone is prepone. So if initially you had said the exams were going to be on the 17th of April and something happened, you had to bring them earlier back, you now say the exams have been preponed till the 4th of April. So today, hello D-Doc. Today we are talking about common words with uncommon opposites. Thank you very much, Dr. Dale Akpoghene, my friend, watching from Abuja. Today we are talking about common words which have uncommon opposites. And the very first word I talked about was warmth, when somewhere is warm. And warmth, you add th at the end. And then the opposite of warmth is cool. That's if you have coolth, that's the opposite of warmth. And then another one is distress. When you're in distress, you are in pain, physical pain or whatever. Then the opposite of distress is eustress. Oh, my sister Zino, I think you're watching from England. I don't know where you're watching from, but good to have you on. George Adebisi, wonderful, so excited. I'm glad you didn't miss it. I hope you have your book out to help. All right, so the opposite of distress is eustress. That is, you take out the di and then you add an e and eu. So eustress is the opposite of distress, and it is stress that is beneficial to you. So when you have stress that is stressing you in physical pain or whatever, the opposite of distress is eustress. Then we also have euphemism. Everyone knows that a euphemism is a word or a phrase that you use when you don't want to say something that is bad. So instead of you saying that, oh, do you know that our teacher years back has died? Instead of you saying he has died, so he passed. For the Christians, he has gone to glory, has gone to be with the Lord. Now, the opposite of euphemism is dysphemism. Thank you very much, Zino. I'm so glad you're watching today. Thank you so much. Zino says it is educating and womb. And Zino, I also put up words on my Facebook page for you to try out in sentences. We always have the word of the day. I'm still talking about euphemism and dysphemism. Dysphemism is also using a word or expression that is not nice. So instead of you saying that it is a mental hospital, the white people will say loony bin. In Nigeria, we have so many dysphemisms for mental hospitals. Some places will say Uselu. In Lagos, I think they call it Yaba left. So that is they don't want to say psychiatric hospital. Yes, okay, take notes. Okay, very good. And then another one is anonymous. Anonymous is when you don't want to name. I could say I have an anonymous caller, anonymous letter. Or if you have a poem that doesn't have the author or poet's name, you say an anonymous poem or an anonymous book. Now the opposite of anonymous is onymous. You just take off the an and you have onymous, and that means that the book or the poem has been titled. If you have a poem where you have the poet's name, then it's onymous. Then I also talked about blacklist. Everybody knows what a blacklist is. when you have been blacklisted, it means this person or this group or organization is under suspicion. Interestingly, the opposite of blacklist is whitelist, and it means they've got security clearance from government. And then I talked about postpone. Everybody knows what it means to postpone. You're going to have an exam, you're going to have a wedding, you're going to have a party or something, and they tell you it has been postponed. Now, the opposite of postpone is prepone. So when you take out P-O-S-T in front of postpone, you now have pre-R-E in front of you now have prepone. Prepone means taking it back to an earlier date. So if we're going to have our launch date on the, let me see, the 31st of March, and something happened and it's going to, another thing happened on the 31st of March, so okay, we have preponed the launch to the 21st of March. So those are the words. And then there's nocturnal. Everybody knows what nocturnal is. Hawawu Bombalasta is watching from Abuja. Hawawu, how are you? And then we have nocturnal, which is having to do with the night. Yes, Hawa, I know you. I can see you're watching me live, and I can see you that you have said you're watching me live. So I shout out to you, Hawa. Hawa Kanengimba. And then the opposite of nocturnal is diurnal, which means it has to do with the day. Some of these words, I'll be putting them up later on my Facebook page. And now to our word for the day. Our word for the day is crack. Crack, but it is spelled C-A-R-A-I-C. Crack. And I'll put the way, sorry, let me hold it up properly. Fan is blowing. Crack. Crack, and its pronunciation is like that. I hope you can see it. Crack, C-R-A-I-C is our word for the day, and the pronunciation is crack. Now, crack is an English word. Hello, Olanrewaju, how are you? Prepone, you like it, Abi? Take it forward. Now, crack means fun and entertainment, especially great conversation and company. So when you are having, and you make sure you are talking, when you are talking about crack, you have to put the crack. Crack could also mean something that's mischievous, for fun or laughs, enjoyable social activity. Now, this should appeal to those of you living in Scotland. Another sense of crack found in Scottish language is news and gossip. So hello, Olarenwaju, if anything is happening, you can ask hello, so what's the crack? What's the news? What's the crack? What's the gossip? So that is another sense of the word crack. Remember, today's word is crack, C-R-A-I-C, and it is pronounced crack. Let me hold up my blackboard. So this is crack. This is the word of the day, crack, and it is pronounced K-R-A-K. So if you're having fun and if you're having entertainment, you're having enjoyment, you're having company, say, where is the crack happening? Where is the crack happening today? And if it is in Scotland, in Scottish English, yes, crack, George, yes, you got it correct. And it's pronounced crack, like as in K-R-A-K. Egodi is what I guess. Egodi, you are in Lagos here. Good to have you on. Like I said, another sense of crack found in Scottish English, is news and gossip. And you always have to say, what's the crack? The always comes before crack. Have you heard the crack? Have you heard the news, the gossip? But crack also means when you're having fun and entertainment, especially good conversation and company. When you're having fun, I'm going to visit George in Abuja soon, so that we're going to have a fantastic crack. We're going to be gisting. In fact, in those days, I always remember Hawa. We always used to have a wonderful crack time. You remember Hawa? We always used to have fun. We always used to gist. And I would always gossip. You talk about somebody. Anyhow, I guess I just do a quick recap of what we talked about today, and then I'll sign off. We've been talking about common words with uncommon opposites. There's warmth, and the opposite of warmth is cool. That's cool plus a TH. There is distress. Everybody knows what distress is. The opposite of distress is eustress. EU in front of stress. And eustress is stress which is beneficial to you. Usually when you are stressed up, but it is going to be beneficial to you, that is eustress. And the feeling gives you a feeling of fulfillment. Hello, bring on the crack. These Scottish people. Then there's the word euphemism. Everybody knows that euphemism is a word or phrase which is used to describe a pleasant word which describes something that's unpleasant. Dr. James, Raphael James, my brother from another mother, you are welcome. Eustress not be small. Eustress is beneficial. Eustress is beneficial. It's stress that is beneficial. So if you are stressed up, but the stress is going to be beneficial to them, is eustress. So we're talking about euphemism and dysphemism. Euphemism is when you use a word to describe an unpleasant situation, like someone has died. Usually that's euphemism. You always have a euphemism for someone has died, or like say a person has departed or gone to be with the Lord, or the whole place is where somebody has gone to. Yes, so that's true. Ella is reminding me that she's coming 12:30 p.m. That's 12:30 p.m. your time and 1:30 p.m. our time on Facebook Live. So please be sure to hook up with Eloho and Olarinwaju. They are both watching right now. Olarinwaju will be talking about her book at 1:30 p.m. Nigerian time, 12:30 p.m. British time. Now, the opposite of euphemism is dysphemism, where you use a harsh word to describe something. Like Nigerians, what do you call a mental hospital? Nigerians, what do you call somebody who is crazy? You say the person don't kolo. Or the British people say it's a fruitcake, it's a nutcase. And that is a dysphemism. Then there's anonymous. Anonymous is when everybody knows anonymous. And some people say anonymous caller, anonymous letter. The person is not named. So the opposite of anonymous is onymous. So you just think of the AN and you have anonymous. Then we talked about blacklist. Everyone knows what a blacklist is. And the opposite of blacklist is a whitelist. And then we talked about postpone and prepone. You postpone something, it means you're taking it further. And then when you prepone, you are bringing it back. So I am so happy. Olarinwaju says that she has learned a lot from here. Didn't even get this in her GS 101. I'm so happy. I'm so glad you're learning. Now, for everyone who is watching and you would like to watch some more of my programs, you can go to my YouTube channel. Just type my name, Irumena Amata. I'll be putting up the link later on Facebook Live. Please go there. There are so many things you can learn. I am also learning myself. You know, most teachers will learn. Because in trying to bring you information, we have to study, and in studying, we learn. So I have learned a lot too. And a shout out to everyone who has been using the words. Olarinwaju has been using the words. Eloho has been using the words. My friend Bolaji Adesoye from Ofa has been using the words. Comfort Okoronkwo has been using the words. Ken and Edward George, everybody has been using the words. So please go ahead, go to my Facebook page. They're like the words we used last week. We talked about bombinating and festinating and susurating. If you want to know what all those words are, go back to my Facebook page and you'll be cachinating. I can assure you'll be cachinating. And I know that Olarinwaju had threatened to osculate her husband. Abi, you threatened to osculate your husband. If you want to know what osculating is and why Olarinwaju was osculating her husband, just go to my Facebook page. It's been so nice having everyone on today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I couldn't do this without you. And as always, I remain me, Mena. Remember in those days I used to sign off my program. This is me, Mena. Someone used to laugh at me a lot. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. A shout out to everyone who has tuned in today. Please take out time, go to my YouTube channel and watch those episodes that you have missed. Just subscribe. Once you type Irumena Amata, my YouTube channel will come, but I'll still put up the link. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now it is going to yoga. Yes, learn and share. Learn and share. Once you learn, please share. You learn and share. Thank you very much, Olarinwaju. And be sure to hook up at 1:30 p.m. My sister Eloho will be on Facebook Live. She'll be talking to Olarinwaju Olaleye, who has her book is coming up. So, but tune in 1:30 p.m. Nigerian time, 12:30 p.m. English time or British time, Facebook Live, and Eloho will be on. Zino, thank you so much. She says fantastic. Thank you so much again. Yes, Eloho, you are welcome. All right, guys, it's time to sign off now. I'm going to go and drink one chilled can of Maltina. Hey, Nina, where are you watching from? You're watching from, where are you? Nina is supposed to be in Lagos. No, you're not in Lagos. I don't know where. Okay, she's in Asaba. Nina is in Asaba. All right. Okay. Egodi, Olanrewaju, Nina, Dr. Rafael James, Dale, Mokhtar. If I didn't mention names, it's not because I don't want to mention, just that the names have already scrolled up. I can't remember. Okay, yes, my class prefect, George at DPC, my sister friend Lizzie, Benny Henacho, Zino. Everybody, thank you so much. I think I'd like to sign off now. Do have a pleasant rest of the day and look forward to seeing you all tomorrow, 1 p.m. And in the meantime, please use the word of the day and the other words of the day. Bye.